everyone, I'm Nicole Herrick DIY, and today I'm going to show you a Kmart dupe for making this beautiful designer lamp. And I'm also going to show you a couple of different ways that you can do it depending on whether you can do electrics rewiring in your country or if you can't, like in Australia. All right, are you ready to get started? Let's go! Alright, I don't know where I was going to because I'm going to do the DIY right here. Okay, so these are plant pots from Kmart. These are $5.50 each. What we're going to do is stack two on top of each other. And this is going to give us a great lamp height. Now these actually have a hole in the bottom. So that will be handy if you are doing your own rewiring. In Australia we can't, but anyway. Now this is a little lamp base from Kmart that is $11. I actually got mine for $10 in store, so I don't know whether they just have it repriced online. It does actually come with a little tiny lampshade, but I'm not going to use that one. Now the great thing about this little light, you can actually pop this straight into your pot plant, and it gives us a little bit of metal peeking out here. You could add gold paint or gold rub and buff or gold foil to this if you wanted to have a little bit of a gold accent. Now for a lampshade, there's loads of different lampshades to choose from. I know Fantastic Furniture, they have a really good range of mix and match lampshades from $10, and Freedom also has some, and Bunnings also has some as well. So this is one from Bunnings that I grabbed because I really wanted to make a very textural lamp.
So step one is to grab some thick felt pads. These are also from Kmart, but you can get them in many other stores. Now these are just going to make sure that your base doesn't scratch whatever table you're popping them on. And they also lift it up enough if you're doing your own rewiring to fit the wiring underneath. Next up, if you want to change the stem of the light to gold or bronze or something like that, do that next. Here are some options of how to do that and different price ranges. For those of you who can't legally do your own wiring, here's how we're going to put it together. Just grab some really nice strong adhesive and glue your pots together. Then all we need to do is pop in our lamp. Now I put mine in with blue tack on the bottom just so I could pull it out if I needed to, but you could glue it if you wanted to. Now we need to adhere the cord to the back of the lamp. And I'm just doing this with some clear glue, and it's just going to be running down the back there. To hold it in place while it dries, just use some painter's tape. If you live in a country where you are legally allowed to rewire, take it apart at the switch. You want to disconnect the wire that goes from the lamp to the switch. Now feed the wire through the hole in the top pot, and then you're going to glue the rim of the bottom pot. Then if you can raise up your pot onto other things so that you can actually feed your cord down through that last hole coming out the bottom, and then you can glue your two pots together. Make sure all your bubbles are lined up and let that dry overnight. If you want to keep this DIY as simple as possible, you can pop the lampshade on and have this beautiful lamp. However, if you want to take this to the next step and fill that gap around the middle, keep watching and I'll also show you how to paint it. To fill the gap in the middle of the two pots, I used a wood filler. This one is just from Timbermate. And what I did was roll out some little sausages of wood filler and then just press that into the gap. And you want your sausages to be sort of thin, but thick enough that they will sort of sit proud of that gap because you want to be able to sand it flat. I used 320 grit sandpaper and just tore off little pieces just to go around. This is quite tedious, this part, but pop on some music and just get to it. Now, whether you want to paint your lamp back to white or black or some other color, I highly recommend the Kmart chalk paint. When I actually did these lamps, the chalk paint wasn't available yet in Kmart, but had it been at the time, I definitely would have got that. The other option is using spray paint. Now the White Knight Squirt spray paint goes onto ceramic and it's a primer and paint in one. All I would say is just don't sort of manhandle it too much or touch the outside for a week until it cures properly. Here's a few tips if you are spray painting. Do your first coat really lightly. This is going to be like a sticky layer that the next layers can stick to. Also, lift it up off the ground, putting it on like a smaller little cap or something, just because you want to be able to get underneath those bubbles. Also, cover any parts of the light and the cord that you don't want sprayed. Wait 1 hour in between coating and don't leave it too much longer than an hour, otherwise the next coat won't stick. And lastly, after each coat, turn your can upside down and spray till it comes clear, and that will clean out your nozzle. So here is how my finished bubble lamps turned out. I spent around $50 per lamp, much better than a few hundred or even a few thousand as we saw. And these are all the more special because I made them. I also spent a bit extra and got some Wiz Smart light bulbs so that I can turn them on and off from my phone. If you have not seen my full bedroom makeover video, I will pop the link here, click it and have a watch. You can help support my channel for free by simply liking, dropping a comment below or subscribing if you want to see more.